Hi, I'm Mike, and I'm going to show you how to put a headphone jack into your vehicle. Well, actually, I'm going to show you how I'm doing mine. And if you can do it in yours, it'd be fantastic. First thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take off the panel because I'm going to pull the stereo. Now, I read about this whole thing on a Chevy Avalanche forum, and I'm going to put the link in the description. But first things first, there's two ways to go about this. You can either pull the XM radio, which is required for this type of thing, from the behind the glove compartment, or you can do it like I'm doing and pull off the panel and yank the stereo. That's right. Tilt the wheel all the way down, and the panel will come right off. Forgot about that. You also got to have the gear shift all the way down, so you need your keys in for that. Back in the park. Now I have disconnected my battery. As you can see right here, here's my main unit. I already cracked it from taking this apart once before to see exactly what I needed. Okay, my main reason for pulling this off is I wanted this little guy right here. Alright, you see that came off pretty easily. There's a clip on the side here. Of course, yours may be a little bit different. There's my clip locked right there. This is my traction control. I'm just going to pull that off because I'm actually going to go and make a hole right here and put the little jack right in the center of that. You're looking down right now. I'm actually on my barbecue doing this. This little doohickey right here is your jack that you want to go ahead and stick in. There are actually 5 prongs. There's 2 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's instructions on which wires to hook up, and I'll explain that as I go along. So this is the guy we're going to go ahead and solder some cables to. And he's basically going to fit in right there. I'll try and put him right in the center and stuff. So I actually have some Goop Marine glue stuff that I'm going to go ahead and put on the tip here after I burn a hole in this and get it nice and snug, but I have to go ahead and do the soldering first. Now if you're not comfortable with soldering, then have a buddy do it. I have this handy dandy fancy one that my father-in-law gave me. He used to be an electrician. I've done enough soldering that I'm okay with it. One of the suggestions on the forum post that I read was to use a network cable because it already has the 5 wires you're going to need, because you're going to need to cut 2 wires and then you're going to splice into a 3rd wire. Now I have a 6-foot long network cable. Every time I get something from Comcast they give me a cable, so I got plenty of these things sitting around. So I'm actually going to cut it probably about, I'm guessing 1 foot, which should be more than enough. Now the reason for using this type of cable is because it'll actually have this body over it already. So that makes it a bit easier. You notice I have 8 wires in here. Actually, I don't know if you ever opened up one of these things, but there are 8 wires. I've done a little bit of networking, so I'm used to playing with these. And you're only going to need 5. So you're going to have to mark off 5 of them. And we'll do that in just a minute. Get my other end open over here. Okay, they're going to be some cables I'm going to be using inside. There's going to be brown and white, so I'm going to use the brown and the brown white. There's also going to be dark green and white, so I'll just use the green and the green white. And the last one you're going to splice into is the black and white. Now you only need 1 for that, so I will use blue because that is the closest I have to black in this thing. So I'm going to cut off these other 3. I have orange, orange, white, and blue, white. Your network cable might be different, or if you're just using regular wires and stuff, then that's up to you. Now, I may be going about this wrong, but this is the way I'm used to doing wires and stuff and soldering, but you know, it works for me, so. And we'll see if it works in stereo in just a minute here. Okay, we don't need a ton of this. Just a nice little tip. And I am talking pretty dang short. You can barely see it sticking out. So I'm going to go ahead and pull off the tip of all 5 of these real quick. The blue one I'm actually going to, on this end that I'm going to be putting in the adapter, I'm going to do it real super short, but the other side I'm going to go ahead and do it longer so I can wrap it around. I'm actually going to do everything longer on the other side because I want to be able to wrap them with the wires. If you don't got wire cutters, use your teeth. Or if you got sensitive teeth, don't use them at all. But as you can see, I got the blue one open with my teeth. Like I said, my methods might not be the best for you or everybody else, but they work for me. 2 down, 3 to go. Like I said, I'm going to go considerably longer on this end because this is the one that's where we're going to attach the stereo wires. So I like to get a little bit of length in these. I actually find it easier to cut when you have more length to pull. Of course, if you end up cutting these the wrong way or cutting too short, I guess that green wire doesn't like that much. Well, you have the rest of the network cable to do it with. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't like electricity running through anything that I'm working on, so I always unplug everything I'm going to touch. So my battery has been disconnected. Forum Post says you got to have XM satellite radio, and when I've been reading, people haven't got it to work otherwise. So if you don't have XM available in your vehicle, then it's probably ain't going to work for you. And I don't know if you need to go ahead and really wire in both ends of the cables, because the wires here, because you would think that you just need to go ahead and get it going into the stereo. Okay, now I have my 5 tips, and these go in a specific order, and I'm going to explain it while I'm doing this. Alright, and as far as the pins go, let's hold the jack just like that. The jack's pointing this way. We got one terminal, it's going to be number 1. We got 2, 3, 4's on the inside, 5's on the outside. The 1's going to be for the black and white, which actually we have as blue. That's going to basically be our, I guess our ground. It's common. I don't know what the hell you call it. I don't care, as long as it works, right? Doesn't really matter now, does it? Okay, that's in. I'm just going to go ahead and put these in and curve them around. The second one, number 2, is going to be the brown and white. Okay, so we're going to do the solid colors coming from the stereo. Now, the picture on the forum that I saw made this thing look a hell of a lot bigger than it is. Now, the old way I used to do this is I used to heat up the solder and just dip it onto stuff. But apparently a buddy of mine showed me that you're supposed to heat up your metal and put your solder onto that. I had to tape it down. This is driving me insane here. I'm not even on the frickin' contact. There's probably better tools out there, making little roach clips and stuff, but I have none. I got a good contact there. Yeah, I'm very sloppy with this, but you know, it works. We'll see if everything's fine. I don't care what it looks like because I'm not going to be looking at it, you know? I got enough solder on there, I can just go ahead and melt it around a bit, and that should do just fine. Now be careful because this stuff is hot. Can't tell you how many times I got some hot solder on my skin. Yeah, that one's tight in there. Okay. This green guy is going to go on the inside. Okay, I got a good throughput right there. Bend him real well. And our green and white will go back to the XM unit. Like I'm saying, I really don't know if we really need that. I'm going to go ahead and connect everything but the green and whites, the white ones, back to the XM unit, and we'll see if it works. Alright, let's give him a tug test. Yeah, he's tight. He's tight. He's tight. They're all nice and tight. Alright. I'm going to snip off these extras here and get rid of the extra casing. We don't need that. would have sucked if I accidentally snipped one of my good ones. Okay, so these guys, when all done right here, I'm going to go ahead and just tape this right here to keep them together. Like I said, we don't care what it looks like, but we do care that it doesn't get all messed up. So there we go, all 5 on there. Last thing we need to do is make us a hole. So from your view, this is how it's going to look coming out. Here's my traction control, my vehicle. The windshield's that way, my seat's that way. So I really don't care how I put this in, although I do have a bunch of extra plastic there that's going to make this more difficult. I could do right there. Let's give that a shot. I know this ain't the way you're supposed to do it. I don't have my Dremel because I sold it like an idiot. Burning plastic is toxic. Woo! Do this at your own risk. You know, let's go get a drill. Let's give that a shot. So we get a 5/16. That looks about the size of where we're going with it. Not pressing hard, I'm just pressing gentle. Reverse, there we go. Nice and big. That's what she said. I'm gonna try one more time. It's still too thick, it's plastic. Ugh. But I can get a clean connection with that because it's almost flush on it. Alright, this little guy came with its own nut. So what we're going to try and do is fit this in that orientation right there, because that way the wires are towards the inside. This gives us more room. And can we fit them? No, we can't. Alright, now I got my soldering gun up to 52 degrees. Now mine actually lets me pick a temperature. And this is enough to just barely melt the plastic. So I want a nice little shelf in here. And remember, the plastic's toxic when you burn it. Well, an idiot does it this way. Yes, I'm an idiot. I admit it. Freely. That's good enough. Let's just see if it fits. Okay. I drilled my hole too big, actually. I should have pulled this little nut guy off. It wouldn't come off at first, so... Now he did. Now he's being a little bastard. Yeah, he's on right there. Need to go ahead and twist them on better. Should be using needle nose. It'll be easier to get in here, but I don't think anything will get in at all. Alright, apparently I got it in enough that I can get my nails in and twist that little nut onto it. Now it's pretty freaking secure. So we're ready to move to the inside of the vehicle and hook our 5 wires up in there.